We'll reset this one. Alright. I wanted to show you guys a little bit of like the current patch, and I think Graves is going to be one of the best picks in the patch really easily. And I wanted to illustrate that like how the jungle camps work now. So previously you could do 2 buffs plus any camp and you would hit level 3. That was the general way that anybody would hit level 3. Then they would try to pressure like a lane, or they might farm out to like level 4 by killing like 4 camps plus scuttle, or by killing 5 camps. No, 6 camps. Yeah. So it was either everything but Krugs plus scuttle, or just everything together. But Krugs took forever. So normally you would just do wolves. Wolves is a really low damage camp, so most builds would do wolves. Then you would come down here, red buff, and then when you finish this red buff, however time that was, you'd be level 3 and ready to gank, right? So Graves could probably be dueling by like 230 or something. Instead, let's look at what you have to do now. Initially, it was posed that if you did both buffs plus Scuttle Crab, you'd hit level 3. You actually won't. The only way to hit level 3 within 3 camps is to include Krugs. So, and it doesn't have to be the entire Krug camp. You can save a little bit of time on it, but it has to include Krugs. So a really popular gank route that we will end up seeing is that people will do their red side, or they'll do these 2 camps plus Scuttle Crab. Or we'll do this red buff. Do these Krugs. And then we'll go up to the Scuttle Crab. I think this is bugged right now. I have way too much attack damage. Like, there's no way I should have plus 58. Cute bug, right? Doesn't really matter for illustrating like what gives what EXP though. So then Scuttle Crab now has this sick health bar on it. And then after you kill Scuttle Crab, you'd be 3. So realistically, my AD is bugged, but you could get this like 235, 240 pretty reliably. So that's an option. Then you could look for either bot or top. If you're on top side, you can do the same thing. You can do red buff into Krugs, into Scuttle, and then look top or mid at the same timing window you would have before, 235, 240. That's the same time most junglers would have been there before. So nothing has changed there. The only thing is your jungler has to be able to do it with low mana costs, because you're not going to have blue buff. That's the only parameter that you have to meet. Yeah, my AD keeps getting higher. This is interesting. Cute bug. Can I reset it again? Or did I actually reset? No. Cool. Alright, whatever. So, another option I can see people doing let's wait for blue buff, is you start on the opposite side, right? So some people aren't going to be adjusted to the changes yet, and so if they're not starting red buff, so you know they're starting blue buff, and they try to do like a regular clear, or they're doing a slow clear, or they're doing blue to red to something, then something that you can take advantage of is you can either do this blue, and then we would have 2 options from here. We could do Gromp, and then we could go up to their Krugs to hit 3, or we could just do their Krugs, and then we could look for the Scuttle Crab. So let's go look for Krugs. And unless they start red buff to go Krugs, they're not going to be here for this timing. You can get here before the minion wave can see you or anything. It might be important for top laners to ward around Krugs to prevent like this kind of thing from happening. where we can take these Krugs. You could have done Gromp before this, but then it risks their jungler getting to Krugs, especially if they know the value of Krugs now. You don't have to kill the entire Krug camp either. I'll illustrate it here. If you actually just killed a big one. Yeah, there we go. That's all I wanted. And then we wouldn't take this path, and we'd go out this way. I just didn't want to kill those things. So, and then we'd go to the Scuttle Crab. So then if we kill this Scuttle Crab, we're going to hit 3. You only have to kill the 2 medium Krugs. You don't have to kill the little ones. So if you wanted to save time to get an earlier gank timing off or something, that is an option. And then we're level 3. 245 is probably when you can expect it, 245 to 250, so a little slower than before. But if you're level 3 right now too, if they did a slow clear, you could be level 3 and you could go contest their red buff. You'd be really healthy for it. You didn't do very dangerous of camps, or you can clear them then through your entire bottom side. You can clear these camps plus these, and you'll end up almost at level 5 by the end of it. So that's an option. One more thing. Go back to here. And this is all assuming you're not getting like a leash. You could be like potentially like a few seconds faster. I have like bugged attack damage, so maybe not a few seconds faster, but so if you want to gank early, you're always going to clear Krugs in your first clear. In fact, including Krugs in your first clear, regardless, is probably the just something that you should be looking for in every scenario. Just because of how much raw EXP it gives. Oh, I know what the bug is. I'm getting Gathering Storm. Because I've been in this practice tool for like 20 minutes. That's really silly. That's not a bug. Oh, I mean, it might be a bug. So most camps give 170 EXP at when you do it. Krugs gives 272. It gives over 100 more experience than like the other camps do. So another option is that you could do the same kind of thing. This will be a little slower. You won't have as much attack damage because this Gathering Storm bug. But like, let's say like 235 to 240, you'd have the same window. You don't have to go contest the Scuttle Crab, and then you could still look like around mid lane, or you could be pathing up and you could try to contest this. You could go into their jungle from here, that kind of thing, because you're probably going to be 3 before they are if you do Krugs. So doing Krugs is incredibly important if you're an early aggressive jungler, and try to fit Krugs into basically every clear that you can if you're an aggressive jungler that wants to push tempo at level 3. The Scuttle Crab also gives quite a bit of EXP. It's not crazy. It's not much more than the regular camps. Krugs is the highest damage, highest EXP camp. So this is the camp that we're the most focused on, and if you want pressure, you do Krugs. You can potentially take their Krugs early. If they do a greedy clear, they start opposite side. You can do your own Krugs to open up like a early gank route. These are going to be the things that people are going to be doing. Or you can do like a slow clear. If you get their Krugs early, then you could potentially do like this plus Krugs, come back down for Scuttle, and then if you get the Scuttle, you'll be 3, and then you can do this camp, this camp, this camp, this camp, this camp, and you'll be super, super ahead on EXP because you took their Krugs and your Krugs. So trying to take the enemy Krugs, very valuable. Defending your own Krugs, very valuable. Top laners might need to ward Krugs, especially if you're on purple side, to be able to track the enemy jungler. So I hope this is informative to some people about like what some of your options are going to be for like early jungle routes. You're not going to be able to do the quick buff camp anymore. That doesn't work unless it's Krugs. You can do Krugs plus any 2 camps and it will work. Scuttle you can consider just like a regular camp now. It has like the same kind of EXP that you get from Raptors, from Wolves, from Gromp. It has a really high gold reward as well. And then after the first Scuttle, only one will appear. So like right now, there's only one in the top side running around. There's not one in the bottom side. And that's because after the first one appears randomly, and like you get like a warning before it would spawn. So I hope this is informative, guys, and good luck in the new jungle.